Wait, why are you that side?
Because it's how I frame the shot.
But surely it looks like pointing that way. I think you should go that side. I'm just like the hanger-on.
Okay. Hi guys. So me and my brother, this is Matt, have managed to get out to the woods. We're in Badger's Wood campsite in Kent again. One of my favourite little campsites. Managed to get out for a couple of days. I'm on the intermediate course with Paul Kirtley from next week, so I'll be in the woods all week. So I managed to convince this one, who doesn't really camp, to come out to the woods with me and spend a couple of nights here. So we're really here for a holiday. He's brought his bike, he's going to go and do some cycling. So if you see a lycra clad individual in the background, it's probably him.
Don't knock him off.
So he's going to be, he's going to go for some cycle rides. I'm going to stay and do some carving, and we're going to go for a couple of like nice countryside walks while we're here. But yeah, we're just really here to chill out. We've got steaks tonight. We're going to cook a paella tomorrow on the campfire. Brought loads of kit to play with, but the base kit is what I'm taking to the intermediate course next week. So I wanted to just check out how it runs and get rid of anything unnecessary on this trip, so I don't have to take it on my course and only go with the essentials next week. Whereas this trip I've got way more than I need, so it'd be nice to sort of strim my kit down by actually using it this week. So I hope you enjoy this video. It won't ramble on too much, but I want to show you what we're doing, so show you some cooking, show you some sort of fire lighting stuff. It's his first time in a hammock, so yeah.
Bit nervous I might fall out, but should be alright.
So he did a tent with me once before, and it was fine, but we thought we'd get him in a hammock because it's quite comfortable. So I hope you enjoy this video, and stick around for the rest. If you hear that noise, that's a quad bike going around the woods. This is a public campsite, so they're doing quad bikes to drop things off to the other campers and things like that. So enjoy the video.
That's the one. That's the one.
Oh my god, is that the Orca Aero?
The one. That's the one. That's the one, baby. Work with me, you bastard!
Isn't it supposed to be on the roads? Yeah. Okay guys, not to take the mick out of my brother, he's obviously not done this before. However, he was trying to fit a 3x3 tarp here. He wanted to put his hammock and tarp where his bike was. So he's like, that's a good spot, isn't it? It's pretty. What do you think, Matt? Still?
Yeah, I want to go for it.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Cool. Now give it some, now pull it. Cinch it down. Cool. Trust it?
I guess so.
Cool, you happy with it?
Yeah, it looks good.
Try it out. Ooh. How's it feel?
Yeah, it feels good actually.
So you want your head higher than your feet, basically, because you don't want to slip down it in the night, but you also don't want to end up with your feet higher than your head, otherwise you're going to wake up with a headache.
Really?
Yeah, because your
So
blood
the
will
blood
run to your
goes.
head. But that's perfect. If
I
you
got
sleep
one
that
question.
way, that's perfect.
How do you not just swing all night? Or do you?
It slows down. You swing a little bit, especially if it's windy.
I feel like I'm on a ship.
It does feel a bit like a ship.
That's nice
You
though.
like sailing, so you'll be
That's
fine.
true. And Bob's your uncle. Thank you.
I mean,
thank you very much.
It's
First
close.
time ever.
It's close. You just only did the under one once.
What?
But it might work.
That's trend setting.
There you go. Okay guys, so Matt's setup's all up. He's nice and comfy. Taught him how to put a hammock up. He's learnt a few knots and actually adapted them slightly, so that's pretty cool. We're both having a really good time. It's just nice to be out together and spend some time together in the woods. So I'm going to set up my bivvy. I've got a micro tarp and bivvy bag for this trip. So I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to show you a few things. So you might have seen the axe I had attached to my bag. I've moved it now, but that's actually an axe I restored myself. So I'm really excited to show you guys that and actually get out and use a tool that I've restored myself while I'm camping. So I've got that to show you and a couple of other cool things. But before any of that, I need to get my shelter set up. So I'll bring you along while I do that. Okay guys, that's the tarp set up. I'm going to get my sleeping kit in there and then we're going to get a fire going. Okay guys, so this axe is an axe I've actually restored myself. It's a £1 head Spear & Jackson vintage axe head. So Spear & Jackson do still make tools. They're not that expensive, but this head seems to be really good. It was a rust bucket my dad picked up in the tip actually, so he didn't pay anything for it, and I just bought a handle and rehafted it. So really looking forward to trying this out and actually seeing how it works. Completely reprofiled the edge, so it actually cuts like a lightsaber. Custom fitted it, carved the handle down to fit. Because obviously it's a smaller head, lighter head than the small forest axe, but it's really light and nimble, and it works really well from what I've tested at home. But it's nice to actually get it out and try it in the woods for real. So we're going to split some wood down and then we're going to light a quick fire, and then I reckon it's cooking time, Matt. We'll get a steak on.
Nice. Something. I'll go and see what I can find.
really, really fun to use. It's sharp, well balanced, and yeah, as you can see, it does a good job of splitting your wood. I've only been doing this like 5 minutes and I've got a massive pile of nice split wood for the fire. So as you can see, it's no slouch, it does the job. Particularly good at making kindling, but it can split the bigger stuff too. Obviously it's lighter, so it's not going to be used like a felling axe or anything ridiculous, but for camp tasks, for fire lighting and wood splitting and that sort of thing, really good. It's sort of the weight of a hatchet, so just got to bear that in mind when you give it jobs. But it's performing really nicely. And when I got it, this was all rusted and pitted. I got rid of all the rust and completely resharpened it, reprofiled the edge, and I think the results speak for themselves. It works really, really well. It's nice to have taken something that was one person's trash and turn it into a really, really useful woods tool.
Hey, no phones in the woods.
Gonna update my Instagram. I'm actually putting it on my stories. So.
And relax. It's lovely woodland though.
It's good.
You just feel like you can disconnect.
It is quiet though. I mean, there's other people. I'm hungry. Wake up like
so
red tomorrow.
we're both just saying how bitten we've got already. Mozzies have been having a little feast on us, haven't they?
Bright red tomorrow. Well, I think now we've got the fire lit, it might actually help keep them away a bit.
Sachi fire axes, terror. People actually like swirl the smoke when they're closed.
I know, you can learn a lot from me, expert.
Well, your hammock placement earlier was just stunning. What'd you get, Matt?
Well, I couldn't decide, so I sort of got everything. We got brownies, cookies, popcorn, but carbon up for tomorrow's ride, I reckon.
I take it you're pretty hungry.
I am quite famished. I'm gonna go and get started.
And then just say that they're looking good.
Yeah, looking good.
Give some gusto there, come on.
Cool. Looking good.
I might just leave that in.
You know your problem with your fire, Tom? You got all the heat over that side.
I know, but I'm trying not to burn anything.
I like it burnt.
Alright. Yeah, let me undo my job.
There we go, now we're talking.
What's great about fire? There's definitely some moisture in that wood.
Yeah, it's very smoky. It's not that hot, is it? I mean, it is hot, obviously, but...
So I've got the steaks on now, as you can see. This one's bleeding and nice and juicy, so that's going to be amazing. We're going to try and keep them medium rare if possible. It's a bit more difficult on a fire to cook your steaks as you want, but I'm sure whatever happens, they'll be absolutely delicious. Mushrooms are cooked, so we're just resting them off to the side, keeping them warm. And we've got a garlic bread to go on as well. It's like my classic favourite sort of meal to have at camp first night. It was a good steak, so it should be really, really tasty. Well guys, this looks delicious. So we're going to enjoy our steak.
First bite.
First bite.
Cheers.
Cheers. Good? Smoky?
So soft.
Oh yeah.
Naughty.
I can dig it. Mushroom's good too.
Yeah.
Well guys, me and Matt both slept really, really well. The bivvy setup worked well. Matt nearly fell out of his hammock, so I heard some swearing in the middle of the night, but apart from that, really, really good night. Overslept, but it's a lovely morning. I'm going to get some wood split down and we're going to have some pancakes for breakfast. We're both starving, looking forward to a good cup of coffee and some pancakes and maple syrup. My batteries are dying pretty quickly. I don't know what's going on with my camera. Once again, it's eaten through the batteries. So we'll have to see how much I can film today. I'll definitely film the breakfast and maybe film a bit of carving and see how it goes. So yeah, right, let's get on because I'm really, really hungry. You can fetch that for me, Matt, please, thanks.
my word, look at that.
Oh my word. So guys, we've had breakfast. Matt's gone off for his cycle ride. I'm just making some bread for when we get back. So I'm just kneading it now. Now I'm going to let it prove in the Dutch oven and then cook it. Right, so the dough's in the Dutch oven, it's just proving, carving a few feather sticks just to get the fire going later when we cook dinner. Really just using today to relax and get some headspace, just being in the woods, trying to sort of chill out. So yeah, Matt's having a good ride. He's going to be probably gone 4 or 5 hours. I'll probably have a wander down to the track and go for a little stroll at some point. But for the time being, I'm just enjoying sitting and doing little, to be honest. Yeah, it's nice to get out and sort of clear my head before the long course. Really excited to get in the woods with Paul Kirtley again and learn from him. His wealth of experience is just absolutely fascinating, and I love picking his brains and asking him for advice and tips and things. So to be on this course is a big deal to me. I'm really looking forward to being back with the Frontier Bushcraft team to do some learning. So I'd hoped this morning would be nice and smooth, reaffirmation that I've got the necessary skills to be on the intermediate course, but instead it's been a bit of a catalogue of errors. I've managed to knock the water over into the fire and put the fire out once, which was a bit annoying. The camera stopped filming halfway through a bit. So it's just one of those mornings today where everything seems to be not quite going according to plan. But that's life, that's what happens. You can't come out every time and expect to do the perfect feather stick, or yeah, and that's what it's all about. It's about learning. So I'm going to sit here, practice some skills and enjoy cooking some food, and also just practice some things so I get the basics down for the course, because I don't want to go there and be surrounded by people with more experience than me and feel like I'm lacking in the basics. So I want to make sure that I've got those things nailed down, hence why I've got today, just to sort of practice things and do some camp cooking and fiddle with the tarps and make sure I get the sort of shelter ideas set up, do a bit of reading and research and stuff like that. I always do this before a course, I do a bit of revision, just so that I go in there and I can make the most of the time I have with the instructors. So really looking forward to that, and if you follow me on Instagram, no doubt you'll see some photos of that once I've done the course. I don't know how much more I'll be able to film today. My camera's playing up, another thing that's happened today, and also, to be honest, I'm enjoying just relaxing, and doing the camera does take quite a lot of time. So I hope you've enjoyed what you've seen so far. We're just both having a really good time, just not doing much and practicing a few things, and he's enjoying just sort of chilling out and being in the woods and learning a few skills. So yeah, really pleased he decided to go in the hammock. That's quite cool. So yeah.
Whoa.
Dough's risen well, guys. It's actually being restricted by the lid, which is pretty cool. I'll show you what I'm talking about. There you are. So it's rising. Still got a little bit to go. I'll turn it around. It's not cooking, it's just nice and warm there. This is really nice, guys. I've got the fire crackling away contentedly in the fireplace. Just sitting and watching the flames, and I can see my Dutch oven with the bread in it. It's rising really nicely. That's going to be a delicious lunch with some cheese. I can just see the woods. I've not seen a single other person today, bar one person actually that walked on the footpath this morning. Forgot about him. But apart from that, not seen anybody, and it's really quiet here. There's some work going off in the woods somewhere, but they're leaving me alone, so that's great. Yeah, it's just nice. It's really nice to be in the woods. I'm surrounded by this beautiful sweet chestnut coppice, a couple of birch trees, there's a big oak over there, and all I can see is the woods. There's a little wooden shack over there, which is the toilet for this part of the campsite, but apart from that it's literally just forest. So yeah, I'm very happy to be here and just enjoying peace and quiet in the woods. It's funny, I'm a sociable guy most of the time, really. I like seeing my mates, I like my family, and all that stuff, so this is the only time where I'm sort of happy to actually be on my own. Normally I'm just looking forward to just catching up with people, and that's what gets me by, really. But when I'm here, I'm actually happy to just sit and be calm and quiet, whereas at home I'm always on the go. I never give myself a break. I don't really stop, which is good, because you get a lot done, but it does wear you down. So it's nice to come here and actually just get some peace and quiet, and even just a bit of time just to sit, watch the flames, not do anything really. It's nice. Alright folks, as you can see, I've got the Dutch oven on now with the bread in. So I've got nice big embers at the bottom, and then I'm actually using some sticks to grab out other embers and just dump them on top, and that way it will cook the bread like an oven. And these cast iron Dutch ovens are brilliant for this stuff. Me and my dad cooked a couple of loaves like this at the Bushcraft show, and they turned out absolutely stunning. They were a big hit amongst my mates at the Bushcraft show. So fingers crossed this one turns out well, because Matt is going to be absolutely starving after a 5-hour cycle ride. So I will bring you back and show you the result, because it should be a really nice loaf of bread, unless of course I get a bit distracted and let it burn, which hopefully won't happen. Okay, so while the bread's cooking, I'm going to work on this little ash eating spoon. I started it at home before I came, but didn't have a chance to finish it. So while waiting for the bread, this is pretty much the perfect opportunity for me to sit and relax and do some carving. So I won't talk you through what I'm doing. I'm basically just tidying it up. I want to leave this knife finished if I can, so that means I have to leave really nice clean cuts in the wood. I was alerted to the smell of burning toast, and I've had to rescue my loaf. The bottom is burnt, but the top is absolutely fine, nice crust on there. So I'm going to get it out of the Dutch oven, and I'm going to cut the burnt bottom off. Unfortunately the heat was just a little bit too much for it, but the top and everything inside will be absolutely fine. It's just the bottom that got a little bit burnt. So I'm going to salvage this now, and yeah, it should be tasty. So there's the burnt bit that I've cut off, and it's now on fire. But waste not, want not, it's now boiling my coffee. So the actual loaf is really tasty. I've just tried a bit, and yeah, nothing much lost, just the crust at the bottom. So there we are, guys, there's the loaf. So I'm going to cut a little bit and have it with some butter. Look at that. Lovely. Cheers, guys. Oh, that was so good. I was really disappointed at first when I saw I'd burnt the bottom. Just cut the bottom bit off. That is an amazingly tasty loaf. That is great. That's a plane going overhead. Probably the one that goes over Joe Bennett videos. So the inside contrasts lovely. So you've got a nice hard crust, nice and crunchy, and then the inside's so soft. That is absolutely delicious. I'm not even just saying that. That is delicious. Happy boy. Oh. With the burnt hand. I forgot I just got that off. Right, guys, sorry about the gratuitous bread shots. But as I said, I thought I'd ruined it, and it's absolutely delicious. So I'm going to have another piece, and I'm going to put a bit of cheese from my lunch with it. Look at that bread, guys. Look at that bread. You know, don't skimp on the butter. There's no point. I apologise to Matt for if the entire loaf has gone. I'm known for cutting doorstops rather than proper slices of bread. But yeah, I love bread. It's one of my favourite things to eat. Good bread. So this is just a bread mix. So pre-mixed. I'm biting a bag. Just add water. And as you can see, that will do both me and Matt. It'll do my lunch, and probably a starter before our paella as well. So yeah, we don't rough it in the woods, I have to say. Pretty happy with this now. I like the shape, it's quite delicate. That's the thin. There's a couple of little marks I'm going to just clean off, and then I'm going to go on to doing the coalescing. So I'm going to put a decoration carved into the handle. Something I've only just started learning to do. If you followed me on Instagram, you would have seen a few things I'd designed. A spoon handle and a couple of sort of pendants. If you don't follow me on Instagram, please do go and check it out. I post more on there than I do on my YouTube channel. But I'm going to have a go, because you don't improve with these things without risking trying new things. So it's a nice spoon, I'm happy with it, but I'll be even more happy with it if I can successfully do some coalescing on it. If I mess it up, that'll be annoying, but that'll be what it is. It would be a learning curve. So I'm going to give it a go, and I'll show you what I'm doing. Okay, hopefully you can see what I'm doing here. I've worked out, I want a little star there and a T there. I've worked out the grid lines, and now I'm putting a diagonal grid on this. Just lightly. Obviously I don't have a full workshop of measuring devices and tools and things here, so it's going to have to be by eye. Then what you do is you do them in blocks of 3. So there's it's going to be 1 cut, and 3 the other way, 3 blocks, 3 squares, and then there's going to be there. This is my end of this 3, so I'm going to do another 3 going in the other way, and basically you just draw in this weave pattern. There's lots of tutorials, I'm not going to go into it here because I'm by no means well practiced or rehearsed at this. I've given it a go a couple of times. That is it. So I am going to carry on drawing this in. I'm then going to rub out the easy little light lines that I did at first, my grid. So I'm just left with what I need to carve into the spoon. I'll bring you back then. Okay guys, I've got the pattern drawn on, as you can see. Now there is every chance I could mess this up. This is only the 3rd time I've ever done this, and the first time I've ever done this in a woodland setting. Okay, so if I mess up, that's really frustrating. However, that is how it goes. So I'm just going to use the tip of this engraving knife, dig it in, and follow my pencil lines. Now this is a pretty scary thing to do when you've just finished a spoon, because it's basically all over in one slip and you've buggered up your design. Okay, so that's the outline engraved. Now I've got to actually start on the real design. I'm just going to check I'm still in frame. Right, so I'm going to start up here, dig the tip in. Ah, bugger. First one I've slipped. Every wood performs differently, and this is proving a little bit challenging. seems to run out quite easily. I'm going to persevere. Because even if it has a few mistakes, it can still look quite nice. I've carved it in. I made a couple of little mistakes, but the next stage is to actually put coffee in your cut marks. So I'm going to do that now. Now this really isn't the right wood for this because it's quite porous. So the coffee's actually going to get in the grain of the wood, but that's fine. This is all an experiment for me. As I said, it's a new skill, and I like learning new skills. So once I've done that, I'm going to clean it off. I'll clean it off and basically use the rounded back of my knife to buff it. Okay, and that seals in the coffee. But I'm going to clean it up first, and then I'll show you. Okay guys, so I've cleaned it up. As you can see, it's not perfect. It's definitely not the best colorless pattern basket weave that I've ever engraved into something. However, it's a nice spoon, nice and even. You can see that nice ridge down the back, and it's cool. It's got some engravings in. It's got a story now. Yeah, I'm quite happy with myself. Nice little spoon, and I can use that actually in the woods. Okay guys, so I've flattened it off and I've started a little bit of a curve, so it's bending down there and then flat on top. So I'm going to axe around these lines and then carve this spatula. This spatula may be the last thing I'm able to show you on camera because I'm on my last battery now. Guys, I'm thinking that now I've axed it out and I'm just cleaning up the lines a little bit with my belt knife, it might be a chance to show you another tool that I've been working on. Again, you will have seen this if you follow me on Instagram. So this is a Mokotogan, or an Indian crook knife, and I bought the blade from Ray Mears' website, same one he uses in his Northern Wilderness series. And then I've made the handle out of antler. Now this is basically a one-handed draw knife, so I'll show you how you use it in a minute, but you pull it towards yourself, keeping all of your elbows and stuff tight to your body so that you don't cut yourself, you have full control. But it's also got like a spoon hook, which is good for doing bowls and that sort of thing. And you can also use it like a straight knife, like a carving knife too. So a really versatile sort of multi-tool of the woodsman. And yeah, I'm really happy with how the handle turned out and how the blade performs. I actually ground the blade so you can even strike a fire steel with my Mokotogan. If you're interested in seeing that, check out my Instagram and scroll down till you get to the Mokotogan posts. But a really cool tool. So there's my Mokotogan, hand forged blade, and then I fitted the handle in a piece of antler. I think it's a really beautiful tool, and it really is a performer as well. So here I'm using it like a plane, keeping very tight to my body. I'm not putting any force into it, and I'm using my hand as a stop against my leg. So I just literally am doing this. I'm not changing the angle of the blade at all. So then with this here, there's not a chance of me cutting myself. It's a weird tool to get used to. And I'm still not 100% confident with it. However, it's a very, very useful tool. Acts like a plane for getting these nice flat surfaces. Great for removing stock. As I said, the Mokotogan is probably better for a longer project, like a I don't know, an axe handle, canoe paddle, but being careful with it, it's quite good for creating a flat spot and for taking material off. It's really good for chopping boards. I've used it for a couple of chopping boards for my house. But I'm coming to the end of my need for it for this project. I'm taking the stock down, and I'm going to finish it up with a straight knife. But before I put the Mokotogan away, I obviously don't need to use the hook because it doesn't need a bowl, this project. I'll just show you the little mod I did to the spine of the knife. And as I said, this is a tool I'm very new to. There's plenty I need to learn about it, plenty I need to practice and get better with it, but I just really appreciate it as a tool. It's also quite useful for doing feather sticks. And then to make it slightly more versatile at camp, I've actually put a 90-degree spine on it, so I can make shavings, and then I can use it to actually light the fires. So I sharpen the spine, which means I can get a tinder pile, even a feather stick I've lit like this, and get a fire steel. Just like that, I've used my Mokotogan to get fire. Well guys, that was a productive afternoon. Matt's back from his ride. How many kilometres did he do?
146.
146 kilometre ride on his bike. We both had a wash and now we're thinking about dinner. I finished carving the spatula you saw me working on. I've done some more colorising on it, and I did a sort of round little circle thing at the top. So quite happy with how it turned out, and we're going to put this one to use. But I'll show you close up before it gets all covered in food. So there's the spatula from a piece of chestnut firewood. Really happy with how it turned out. I left the knot in. Yeah, I slipped once on the chorus pattern, once or twice, but yeah, quite happy with it. So as you can see, I've done the basket weave pattern again on this one. I've also got a T on there. I've got this little circular sort of finial thing at the end, and then down here I've done the star. So all in all, I'm pretty happy with how that turned out. I really like that coal roast pattern. Okay, well, thanks for watching. We're actually going to just cook our dinner now and enjoy the evening by the fire. Hopefully you've enjoyed the video. Really enjoyed doing some carving. while Matt went out cycling. He got a good ride as well, right through the countryside, so we both had a really good time, and we just want to enjoy tonight by the fire and sort of telling stories and chatting and having a laugh, really. As much as I enjoy filming, it's a bit unfair on Matt of me constantly nagging him to move the camera and to get out of shot and things like that. So we're going to end the video there, but hopefully you've enjoyed it. It's really hot out here tonight. You can probably see I'm sweating so badly because it's just absolutely boiling, and the fire that we're using for cooking is not helping with that, is it?
It is warm.
It's really warm.
Beautiful day though.
Yeah, really lovely. So the sun's been out all day, and we haven't really, there's not been any cloud or anything. It's been really nice. So hopefully you've enjoyed the video, and stick around for future videos, and please do check out my Instagram, as I post on there a lot more frequently than I do on YouTube. Alright, cheers for watching. Bye.